Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to everyone who has joined. We'll be starting in another couple of minutes. We are waiting for some more guests. Stay tuned. Thank you again for joining. Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you who have joined this session today. I'm delighted to welcome you to yet another episode of the CIO Gurukul webinar. Thank you very much again for joining in. Today's session is centered around unlocking the power of multi-cloud management, brought to you by CN Leader and CP Technologies. My name is Jatinder Singh, Executive Editor, CN Leader, and your moderator for today's another invigorative session. In today's session, we'll have a special guest, Mr. Samik Mukherjee, Head of IT Infrastructure and Operations at LIC Housing Finance Limited. Alongside, we will also hear perspective from SIPI. But before we delve into that, let's set the stage and allow me to introduce the today's topic. Well, as IT leaders, CIOs, and at technology honchos at your respective organizations, as you're aware that most of the organizations are now swiftly venturing into the era of multi-cloud, a critical part of modern IT strategy. As organizations shift towards the mixed cloud environments, the benefits are immense. Yet there are challenges that that are forcing enterprises to reevaluate their decision and, of course, with a cautious approach. A well-crafted hybrid multi-cloud environment can definitely offer significant business advantages, leveraging top-tier capabilities and ensuring adaptability. Well, in the while acknowledging the advantages, in the recent CIO Leader State of Enterprise Technology Survey, we found that an overwhelming 88% of businesses have pinpointed the management of cloud security as the foremost challenge. The ease of accessibility poses an additional hurdle, with 63% of respondents struggling to ensure sufficient visibility and management. That highlighted the broader issue of controlling the cost of cloud resources for 81% of those who surveyed. To surmount these challenges effectively, organizations must institute a cohesive multi-cloud platform for management and security functions. Neglecting this imperative step could result in a declining efficiency, heightened cost, and of course increased demand for additional IT resources, and a compromising security posture. Something which I think most of you have been dealing with. A multi-cloud setup empowers businesses to utilize the best tools and services, minimize the impact of service changes and outages, and mitigate risks tier to vendor viability and provider lock-in. It also allows for agile business capabilities while upholding security for sensitive workloads and adhering to regulatory requirements. However, like I just mentioned, like any powerful tool, unfitting management of multi-cloud environment can definitely lead to a complex maze. Unchecked deployments may result in escalated cost, and organizations must track the real-world benefits and trade-offs before embarking on a hybrid multi-cloud journey. The another critical challenge with most of the businesses or enterprises are facing, based on the recent survey I just talked about, is the lack of in-house expertise when organizations embark on this multi-cloud journey. Each cloud environment demands specific knowledge, and success depends on having the right team, DevOps, and of course, process standards in place. Moreover, not only that, handling the increased complexity of overseeing multiple IT environments can be a big and a very daunting task. Uh, we would definitely like to hear more, and in today's session, we will hear the how hybrid and multi-cloud management can lead to a road to successful digital transformation. And to delve deeper into that, I would like to invite our partner speakers of today, Mr. Anitosh Haldar, SVP and Business Head, Cloud and Managed Services, City Technologies, and Jitendra Durai Rajan. We fondly call him Jitu, Head Cloud Engineering and Solutions of City Technologies. I'm sure that their collective expertise is promised to unravel the complexities and will engage you in a unveil the strategies essential for achieving successful data transformation through effective hybrid multi-cloud management. Without much ado, let me welcome Anitosh and Jitendra. Anitosh and Jitendra, we are delighted to have you with us today, and we eagerly look forward to the knowledge and insights that you are about to share. With that, I now pass the virtual podium to Anitosh and Jitendra, and I would request all our participants to keep putting their questions in the Q&A box. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the session, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Anitosh and Jitendra, welcome once again, and over to both of you. Thank you.
I think thanks a lot, Jatin, for setting the stage while you said about the intelligence part of it. So from this particular presentation that we are going to take over, the intelligence part will come from Jitu. The the point that I want to will be covering is more from the information point of it and the awareness point of view, because when we say multi-cloud or any cloud adoption or digital journey that people are talking today, it is an informed decision for an intelligent outcome. So that's how we will go forward. So hopefully, Jitu, you can see my screen. I think then it's visible to all.
Yeah, Anitosh, your screen is visible. Thank
Absolutely. You. Thanks a lot. So the agenda, we are keeping it very simple. We will give you some insights from the third-party analysts like IDC. Then we will take you through the impact of the cloud, which is running the digital goals. and what is the kind of projects and the buyers today looking at from this cloud journey in the respective areas of the transformation of an organization. Then what is the, because cloud is no more a technology, it's beyond that. It's in operations, it's in platform, it's as a product, so every person is within an organization how they are adopting a cloud point of view, and accordingly the executor, the CIOs of the world who are taking this transformation and executing it for their organization, what are the priorities there, how the multi-cloud deployment model is coming into picture, and how the different stages of cloud journey each of the organizations are taking. And obviously we will end up where Jitu will cover that why CFI is relevant for this particular journey. So the first point first, if you look at IDC clearly sees that 48% of the organization in India prefer migrating to cloud. I think the first step has already been taken. It is now the modernization journey that all the industries within India is taking. From the left-hand side, the market share that people are envisaging by 2027, it will be almost knocking 20 billion for sure, while it is given a 17.6 billion by 2027. The major important part is the the mid to towers, where the models of cloud, how it's going to be get adapted. So majorly we are seeing the the consumer facing applications or workloads are moving towards SaaS. The compliance, the stable workloads point of view are moving towards infrastructure as a service, while the PaaS comes into the picture when the platforms around work from anywhere kind of scenario comes into the picture. So that's how the cloud categories are getting adopted. And obviously each of these adoption of the models will come with different cloud platforms. So multi-public cloud will come into the picture, or a multi-cloud also. It can be a hybrid scenario where some workloads are on public cloud, some workloads are on private cloud. And it is very important for organization is how they manage that and what is the cost of economy as an outcome they take. So these are the four towers, while the 48% overall is the inheritance percentage, but or adoption percentage. These are the four towers, how this journey is going up, and these are the numericals IDC is looking at. Very importantly, we see currently that be it banking, financial, or insurance segments, or core manufacturers, or even retailers, they are taking a huge leap journey on cloud. We know telecom started because they are giving consumer services from long, and obviously bringing the orchestration and automation layer, they enable the cloud journey. But obviously, if you look from the core industry, from the the B2B2 consumer point of view, the bank, BFSI and manufacturing is leading it, and it has moved beyond infrastructure as a service adoption. It has moved into even a business as a service for their consumer. On that note, if you look at the overall overview that has come from the Spotlight, and I would request most of you to scan this QR code to get that document and read it more in details. But the overview is that how the infrastructure modernization is taking place and the role of cloud technology is getting adapted. What is the unified management, how unified management helping successful hybrid and multi-cloud strategies. Very importantly, cost, how cost optimization and cost control is getting addressed by the while moving towards or spending towards the digital infrastructure. Application modernization is must to reach to the digital infrastructure. What are the steps by industries people are taking? And lastly, who are the right partners? What are the right type of service provider you should choose for looking in all of this point of view to get the right cloud adoption. So in that note, what we see in the industry is that the digital discussion is either happening on making the operation digitized or efficient, or the digital customer experience that they build for their for their own business, right, for their customers. And predominantly our discussions or any discussion that we are having with our clients or customers, either people are discussing that overall IT operation transformation, where the AI/ML, the agility, the automation, standardization, or predictive capabilities are built in and operation is getting efficient. or people have reached into it and they are now looking at modernizing the core, be it their application or infrastructure, how agile, how scalable it can be, how it can be consolidated and make it more, towards the DevOps or the DevSecOps or the cloud first digital adoption mode, which is the new. These are the three areas generally we are seeing, the discussions happening in the industry. Either the first two is where we land and the expansion is on the development scale to the new, or somebody has already reached the first point, they are trying to transform in the second, and the third point is the expansion point of view. So that's how the industry is shaping, irrespective it is a BFSI, manufacturing, retail, or any of the industries that we understand. And this is a very, very interesting slide where, uh, I thought of depicting more about understanding that cloud is for everyone within the organization. It is just not a CIO's agenda. It can be for a CFO, digital officer for sure, any kind of CXOs, because today a boardroom discussion is no more just how the BAU and transformation will hit. It is about how cloud-powered IT business transformation can be put to, how IT can be related to business outcome, and where cloud can play a big role. That is a big discussion happening in the boardroom. The focused app migration, obviously, if you're talking about your cloud-powered IT business transformation, your application has to be cloud ready, and that's where the important part comes in the application migration point of view. So complex app migration, we are also seeing rapid, low cost migration, where the applications which are not maybe cloud ready, or the ratification of the applications are happening, how those can be inherited into the private cloud model. Okay, so that is one area we see. The data journey is becoming very important because everything is data driven. Any business call, any CSAT call, any NPS call, any operational call, any OT adoption is all related to the data that we consume, and how cloud is coming and making it more intelligent from the visualization point of view, and at the same time cost effective in storing and creating solutions like data lake as a service with the right data resiliency and the data residency, discussions or the regulations that today's regulations has come up with. And obviously all of this needs an infra which where this will be hosted and taken, so it can be a cloud or it can be co-located hybrid IT situation. So paramount discussion out of this slide is very important, is that the boardroom discussion is more towards cloud-powered business transformation, how it is coming down to the application migration point of view, linked to the data that is coming out and helping this application to migrate and give the intelligence on the data side to bring the business outcomes, and obviously infrastructure modernization parallel. So this is how an organization today taking a journey, especially towards their cloud discussion for an outcome. And obviously, if you take that journey, each of the left-hand side tactical outcomes will have a strategic outcome from the right. While we in the IT side, we might be discussing on performance, performance, cost predictability, resiliency with regulation compliances. Obviously, it will be an outcome to a revenue growth or a new customer acquisition, customer satisfaction, time to market, or competitiveness. So all of this today is linked. And what I showed you in the last slide, that is an outcome which will either focus on the tactical with the strategic business outcomes. So that brings to my slide on the hybrid cloud, which is an IDC point of view. Obviously, what we discussed, it is coming out very clear, even from a third-party analyst, where the research has come out clear that, first and foremost, it should have a greater control over the, specific or the overall landscape of the business applications. And second is, we need to understand that application best fit, where it is for hosted model, for private cloud, for public cloud, in public cloud, what kind of model, how the compliance and regulations are made, and how this entire journey can be managed and cost effectiveness can be pulled in continuously. So these are the key drivers that is coming. Even our partner third-party analyst is also that's the research calling out, and accordingly we thought of depicting IT landscape where workloads can be divided into fixed workloads and elastic workloads, where they need an economy of scale, agility on the go. Obviously this will be public cloud drivers, but regulatory, fixed workloads, which has predictable, sizing, predictable, understanding. Performance is predictable. Data gravity is very important. Looking at the existing investment, those mostly move towards the private cloud. And both of these can work as a hybrid IT if you have the mid layer, which can manage both of this seamlessly with intelligence and also give you cost control levers towards the public cloud. On that context, these are the top priorities a CIO is looking. The first, they are understanding a power of a service provider, that how they can assess their landscape, come out with a discovery model and tell which application sits for what kind of, is it really up for cloud? If it goes to cloud, what kind of cloud? Is the hybrid IT journey is a business case for them? And then comes the very important part. Once that is discussed, the migration strategy. Because if migration is not correct, any cloud model will not run. So migration strategy becomes very, very important. And that's where we as an organization, from assessment to cloud migration strategy, we emphasize a lot of time. Cloud Connect is a very important part, because today ingress, egress charges, or even direct cloud connects for private clouds or hosted private clouds is becoming very relevant. And obviously, since we come from that particular background of telecom and hosting major cloud service provider from our data center and having our own cloud, this is one area definitely gives us a feather beyond the first two, which is the assessment and cloud migration point of view. Lastly, the security on cloud is a very important types, and it is a framework. So if you create a hybrid IT, how the security of the cloud or the architecture is made up is very, very important. And the last 2 point, which is the operations point of view, because if you don't have the visibility and control, you cannot do a capacity planning. And if you have that in control and know that how your resources are getting utilized, that will lead to a intelligent cost optimization. So these are the parameters or priorities the CIO looks generally for a service provider, where we believe is the right way to look at for us right managed service provider to build the right cloud story for the organization. In that context, there are different stages of cloud journey. Customers who are thinking towards going to cloud, customers who has gone into cloud, and the customers who are trying to modernize. In there are several different challenges. It comes with different maturity level, and obviously the solutions that we have. I think when Jitu will speak about YCF, most of this will be covered, and I think let's wait for Jitu's point of view on that. So Jitu, on that note, I hand over to you. You can start this. While I'll fiddle them.
Hey, thanks, Anitos. It is more informative than more technology in your slide. Maximum you covered.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah.
All done from you. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening to everyone. Thanks for taking time. So what Anitos has highlighted, right? The most of the predictions and the IDC and then the market, the global market, it's clear and evident, and based on our experience, we are interacting with multiple enterprise customer. We see the hybrid cloud is going to be the lead, or the resource or the cloud business standpoint. It will not be going to be a one single cloud. It will be a more than one cloud. So that's the trend what we see based on our interactions with the various vertical perspective. What you see in the slide is precisely from the bottom. You see the various landscape of the cloud. The first part is the colo, the customer who wanted to run their own landscape legacy, or non-cloud adaptive, non-x86 platform, which was developed long back with AIX, Solaris, or the various trends. And then they followed with the different cloud, right? This cloud earlier, most of time we call as a single cloud. Now, the clouds have a different labels, right? What you see, the first bucket is like a generic cloud. It's more of an enterprise. Any workload can be portable, but every cloud player started giving a certain guideline, and then the certain governance, and then certain policies kind of things. That's where the SAP cloud comes in place, where SAP themselves used to certify SAP TDI certified grid cloud. It cannot be mixed up with any other common enterprise component, right? And there are a lot of community guidelines from the government as well as from the private sectors as well. like there is a guideline for the banking community cloud. There is a guideline for the government community cloud, and even the SEBI has given a guideline for the trading platform, right? SEBI has been evolving to support on each and every verticals of cloud, to support, and then as well as the certified landscape for them to run their business and it to be physically audited kind of a platform. But most of this workload, most of this player, which I talked about, the various community player, will also allow customer to consume the public cloud for the various data standpoint. They're running on their corporate websites, or they're running on the front-end portals for the customer to leverage, which all can able to portable to an internet exposed cloud. Those landscapes are used to be in a hyperscale clouds, right? And that's where, if you look at the SIFI's core strength, right, most of these cloud players are hosted with SIFI's data center, and we are one of the cloud connect player, whether it is a direct connect, fast connect, express route, various cloud player from the hyperscales, and we able to leverage for a customer for them to do a expand or further bus to the cloud, right? So with this, all those guidelines, we are into a hybrid cloud, supporting for hybrid cloud. And Antus can go to the next slide. So we also build a multi-cloud management. I will talk about this slide after this IDC data point. Whereas if you look at the top cloud investment as per the IDC predictions, right? If you look at precisely healthcare customer whose application is very latency sensitive. They cannot able to afford a longer latency. One is the criticality of the operations, what they perform, as well as the latency, what it required has to be attached to the local devices, is the healthcare, manufacturing, even couple of the IoT devices also demand in terms of this local connectivity, right? So the edge cloud has become more and more a demand. The edge cloud can be a smaller footprint, start from one single compute node, or it can be a 1 to 10 or 10 to 12, depends on how big the edge cloud is supposed to support their business demand. And to improve the performance, to avoid the latency, to avoid the network throughput. And these clouds, edge clouds, will pretty much connected to the master cloud or hyperscale cloud for them to continue to their business, and then data porting and all this stuff. But for such kind of a cloud, the major challenge comes for the customer in terms of the security, right? If I have a small edge running on the customer environment as a smaller footprint, how do I manage the security? What is the governance I follow? What is the SLA management for this? Should I have to require more tools to do the governance? Whether I do the right sizing for the platform. So the various aspects will also be looked at in the challenges when it comes to edge cloud. That's where SIFI come up with the multi-cloud management as a platform. Antus can go to next slide. So this multi-cloud management platform brings one single orchestration layer, either it is an edge cloud or a SIFI's various vertical cloud, what you see in the initial slide, and then this hyperscale. So it is became a unified orchestration engine supporting for all the clouds, whether it is edge, enterprise, vertical cloud, hyperscale cloud. Start from the resource provisioning, capacity management, or the cost management standpoint, more precisely the role-based access to these platform, right? You cannot end up creating a multiple users on every cloud point of view, and then how do you apply this? Which role will have which platform you can able to perform? So the single role-based access profile manage centralizedly through the SIFI multi-cloud management platform to govern, to orchestrate, and to do the day-to-day operation standpoint. And it is tightly integrated with ITSM, the CMDB data, lifecycle management of resource, what it been done, and more it brings the value in terms of the blueprint and automation, right? Any cloud resource, if you wanted to provision one business workload application, there is about some 50 to 100 touch points where you have to go network, you have to go security, you have to go OS template, application template. So all those things, to avoid point of view to deploy, we have created an automation. These automation blueprint will allow customer to do a click of button to deploy that in the any cloud. Okay, it's a common blueprint adaptable for the various cloud landscape standpoint. And we have built FinOps capability where it can able to unified cost control for the across all the cloud. Until there's some pop-up in your screen, you have to close that. Yeah. So this is a common, as we said about the resource orchestration provisioning, cost management like chargeback, or you wanted to allocate internal cost, or the visibility of the cost, where you exactly spend, are you doing a right spend cost on the cloud? There is a scope for the cost optimization. It's all completely automated. It's AML driven, and it also comes with a various scheduler for you to do automate. When do you want this instance to be powered on and power off? Those capability, and one single dashboard for cloud cost across, whether it's a private cloud or it's for the public clouds as well. Okay. So I hope we talked about the FinOps capability, the cost governance across all the cloud. So as I said, SIFI have the capability to deliver for a customer for any vertical business. One is the SIFI Cloud Infinite. We talked about the various enterprise cloud and then the vertical specific cloud. Private cloud, which we talked about the specific customer who want end-to-end dedicated for the various guidelines or security or the performance demand, or some business critical application which they wanted to be completely isolated, like a core banking or core application for the vertical specific, and public cloud and the remote edge pods. So it will become a single orchestration for you, irrespective of any of the leaf of the cloud what you planning to deploy. Or you can also have your workload distributed across all these four as well. It need not be you fit to the only one particular landscape. Depends on your business application. It can be distributed across all those four petal, and you can able to manage from single console itself. So the high-level landscape, the different types of the compute, storage, network, security, backup, and PaaS, what we deliver out of the SIFI's cloud, and the entire orchestration engine, both SIFI cloud as well as for the public cloud management, it's completely built in-house capability, right from your workflow automations, the infrastructure provisioning, day-to-day operations, and similarly, the OSSB is also integrated with our own tools. So the securities became another core aspects, right? Today, if you are adapting to the private cloud, you may investing on the various security stack. If you go to the public cloud, either you go with the cloud native security postures, or again you subscribe from the marketplace, or if you deploy it in the private cloud, again you deploying a different landscape, right? Whereas when it comes to a framework, as we talked about the SIFI CMP, security posture is also cut across for all the cloud, whether it is a SIM or a PIM or your KMS or the encryptions of your workload. You don't need to have a different tools and different subscriptions from the various landscape. One common landscape which deliver out of the SIFI as a service to address all the security demand, which is a common security practice across all the cloud landscape. So how we complement and what is the SIFI alignment towards the hyperscale alignment? I hope it clearly gives you DC cloud and strategy. If you look at, if I go from the center and then align between the SIFI alignment versus the hyperscale alignment. So we are we are the data center provider for more than 20 years now, and we've been a cloud strategy player for more than 12 years now. In fact, we've been one of the early cloud deployer in India for the various workloads, right? And we have cross-functional between these two cloud after these hyperscales be in the market. And we did a cloud migrations, not from the traditional migration from as is lift and shift. We also did a lot of cloud transition from the traditional monolithic application to the containers, serverless architectures. Our customer who wanted to go to a SaaS-based or the PaaS-based on the hyperscale, both on Ziffy Cloud as well as the public cloud. We mean master, and we have very good reference cases with a large landscape. The beauty is, one is the transformation, and we did the migrations, most of the migrations very seamless without impacting the customer business, as least as downtime. I could say the switchover or the flip, what is our design and plan in terms of the migrations for the various customers, and the SOC and automations, what we did for the cut across all the landscapes standpoint. So I hope pretty much I covered what is the Ziffy hybrid and cloud capability strength. One is the comprehensive discovery. If you are running a legacy on your on-prem, or you are running on some couple of hyperscale, but you still wanted to migrate to the other hyperscale, or you wanted to come to a private cloud, we have a comprehensive discovery capability, what it can able to assess the end-to-end landscape. And the controlled migration, which I talked about, either in single cloud, multi-cloud, or distribute across the various cloud. The implementations, as we said, the blueprints, right? We don't go navigate each and every button to deploy a cloud right from its landing zone till the application deployment. It's completely orchestrated through our CMP with a blueprint capability standpoint. And cloud optimization, one is before you get into the cloud, we able to assess your current workload and then give you a high level budgetary, what would be the cloud cost going to be. After you port it to the cloud, we still able to continue to support you to optimize your cost. It depends how the behavior inside the cloud of your workloads as well, right? And the unified security, what we talked about, irrespective of wherever you host your applications. And the DevOps, of course, the whole containers are the platform modernizations. We support various DevOps capability, right from the open source to the enterprise containers platform, integrated with various DevOps tools, as well as the DevSecOps for the security controls on the DevOps layer as well.
So I think, Jitu, thanks a lot. I think you mostly have covered, and this slide basically talks about the digital impact, what Jitu has spoken about. One is the hybrid cloud adoption, under which what are the services we generally gives, and what are the trends and proposition growth levers comes in. In nutshell, what this slide is basically, or the information that we are arriving from this is that cloud is a platform that needs to be adopted. Around it, the security framework, the resiliency, how it needs to be built, how network is also very important for it. The full stack observability across the different elements of the cloud or the infrastructure or the network, or even the workloads which is getting hosted on the cloud. How the edge transformation, what is the customer experience, how AI/ML foresights, all this is an outcome that a cloud bring along with it's just being a platform for hosting. And all this, if you can just remember the slide that I put it as the first one, where it is an x-axis of operational efficiency and the y-axis of customer experience. All this basically is an outcome towards that. It is just not that I am taking a cloud platform where I'm hosting a workload. It is also important the resiliency around it, how it is getting connected, how optimizedly the WAN is getting utilized, how the modernization is happening so that agility is coming into place. As an operation, am I having the visibility across all the from workloads to the infrastructure hosted, the performance point of view, how the edge I am transforming, making it more intelligent for better customer experience, and how continuous AI/ML driven platforms are giving us more intelligent results and outcome to take the right decision. So that's the impact, and that's how Ziffy, we believe in a cloud journey with our customers. And that brings us to this catalog, which is our services. We talk about taking the intelligent application, assessing it, and taking it to the cloud, make it industry-led. It can be for a branch, for a bank, a core banking application is very important. For a manufacturing, ERP, CRM can be very important. And similarly, for certain industries, the core applications point of view and the peripheral applications point of view. So how an intelligent app migration, bringing it to industry-led outcome and helping the invisible services to come in, because today work from anywhere, which needs a lot of security, managing the edge where maybe a plant where the production is happening, but it has to be in sync on real-time basis with the warehouse to make the front-end sales guys understand that what is the production versus outcome today that they can take to market. So all of this together, today CFI is having the portfolio where they believe in the intelligence services by bringing the applications to the modernization level, the infrastructure to the modernized level, then bringing industry-led services, making it industry-led services with AI, ML-based automation, data center optimization, edge cloud networking, bringing the hybrid cloud story, and obviously helping it with invisible services around managed security services, a digital workplace collaboration on the compliance side of it, and making people work from anywhere. So that's in one slide what CFI can do for all of you, and these are some of the managed service. This is some of our large experience portfolio that we thought of just putting it here. You can see it's from the healthcare to utility to a global steel leader to large insurance companies. Everywhere in VFCs you will see everywhere, even retails, everywhere the outcome of adopting a cloud is very different. Every outcome is very different. It's just not the cost, it is also about the performance. Somewhere it is about migration, somewhere it is go to market, somewhere with intelligence. So these are across industries relevant experience that we thought of pulling out. So okay, that's it from our end, and over to you, Jatin, so that we can get into the fireside. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anitosh, and taking us through a deep dive approach to the challenges and the opportunities, of course. Uh, we Before we move to fireside chat and the next step, we have few questions from attendees. Maybe if you can, if you would just like to take them up quickly. Mr. Manish Parekh has asked which tools are relevant for monitoring and backup, and do we use Azure to OCI kind of backup?
I think Jitu is the right person to answer this.
Yeah, so there are not one single cloud where you can able to get it achieved. There are cloud native tools like Azure have Azure monitoring, and AWS have their CloudWatch, right? And more and over, we also have we build our own tools. We also go with the third-party tools like Zabbix and integrated with the technology of our CloudFront. We use various open source like playbooks and those, and I mean Ansible playbooks, and then the cloud, and then the Datadogs, various app dynamics, depends on your business application. So there are enough tools available in industry for the infrastructure monitoring. When it comes to the application monitoring, we generally wanted to understand your landscape, how it is being built, what is application landscape, and we can able to recommend the right tool, which can able to connect the dots of the infra plus your application, the end-to-end performance metrics. And more precisely, this monitoring tool is not meant for to like eyeball monitoring. It has to be take appropriate remediate actions or proactiveness to build it. So that's where we add a lot of automation over and above these tools to connect and bring the real outcome of the performance as well as availability of the application landscape. It's a longer answer, but it's not single tool which I can able to deliver.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. Once again, thank you, Anitesh and Jitendra, for your enlightening and comprehensive take on hybrid multi-cloud management and the road to successful data transformation. I'm sure those insights have added great learning and value to understand the critical subject to our audience, and we appreciate the overall points that you highlight and you brought in today's session. Well, we are now transitioning to the to the next part of our webinar, the fireside chat with our esteemed speakers. I hope it would be as captivating and insightful as the initial part of the conversations. And gonna promise add more depth and clarity on the topics that we have explored so far. So, Jitender, my question to you, I mean, you talked about the overall strategy and some of the best practices. Maybe if you could just delve deeper on some of the best practices that, based on your experiences and interaction with IT leaders, which organizations should consider when architecting and implementing efficient multi or hybrid cloud solution. Maybe if you can add some more depth and perspective to that.
Yeah, definitely. See, the hybrid cloud story, what precisely we see for the various customer, there are a couple of workload with a higher configuration, which has to run for 365 days. And it can be a container or it can be a traditional OS image or OS platform. When it run the larger size, and then it has to run for 365 days, it does not have the more of a elastiness. I mean, it is not like auto scales, or it need not be ramp up vertical and horizontal. Static workload for their business, they know how it's going to be run. That kind of a workload generally it runs on the enterprise private cloud kind of a landscape. The workload which required more of elasticity in nature, where it required a burst, as and when like there are seasonal workload for a couple of the e-commerce portals, runs during the festival at the peak, and then rest of times is normal. Or some of the applications were run every day morning between 10 to 12. There is a peak traffic or peak like hospital. Their peak, I mean, patient's appointment kind of thing. So that time required the elasticity and have to come down. Those are the cloud burst what we see. It has to go to the hyperscale kind of thing. So there is a lot of bandwidth what you get it when you do a upscale and downscale of the resources in terms of the commercial aspects. Technology aspects for the traditional workload, not much going to be changed. The third one is the more of a SaaS product. I know my workloads are more of a transaction specific. I'm not looking at kind of a traditional OS, a traditional application database. Per transaction, what I perform, I wanted to build, then it is recommended to go with the SaaS base. SaaS players today, either they hosted by themselves on their own cloud, or they're adapted to the hyperscale cloud, which is not trivial, but that really helps customer who is more of a transactional base to support. So these are the three different business applications what we been recommending for the various customer to choose the cloud based on their business agility standpoint.
Thank you very much for sharing that information. And I would like to hear from Samik. We also have Mr. Samik Mukherjee, Head IT Infrastructure and Operations, LIC Housing Finance Limited. Samik, welcome to this session, and would like to hear your thoughts, probably from the BFSI regulation perspective, and the how these multi-cloud strategies are essential for compliance, or the role of low latency and high availability, resilience in BFSI operations, and how this public and private cloud are contributing to achieving these objectives, and the impact of this choice on regulatory agencies. Samik, your thoughts.
Yes, yeah. Hello, everyone. It's like, yes, there is an both advantage and disadvantage. But if we see about the advantages are more than going towards standardized or a traditional infrastructure-based hardware. It's a physical hardware.
Yeah, Samik, you are audible.
Better
Please
to
go
go
ahead.
for cloud is like, for example, hello,
Yeah, Samik, you are audible.
hello,
Please go
can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah.
Samik.
It's for the, for for the cloud, it's like the advantages are more than the disadvantage. Yes, both have the pros and cons. It's for the advantages side, it's like I can say it's like, for example, when we have to burst out. For example, if we need some of the resources are more required than the existing one which is running. So for that, it is just a moment of some time that if we just tell those service providers from which we are taking, or we have the cloud environment in hand, we can just tell them, yes, we need it as per the requirements, then immediately it can be scaled up without even having a accessibility of the users. Hence, for the physical infra, which is a challenge for the BA5 industry, because everyone is now like shifting from the traditional to the cloud. So there, what happens? It's like there is a bad comes when it's very much advisable to go for a cloud infra rather than go for this the physical infras.
Yeah, you absolutely, Samik, thank
Hello.
you. Yeah, Samik, we can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, some pertinent points. Anitosh would like to just come back to you on the user experience part that you briefly touched upon at the beginning, and we offline also we talked about that. How do you, I mean, how to ensure a consistent user experience, control, and cost optimization across diverse cloud environments, which is in fact it's a very massive concern for most of the business and IT leaders. And if you could just elaborate on how organization can actually achieve this seamless experience for their users and the areas where they should focus upon, Anitosh.
I think I'll take the cue from where Shamik left. What he was trying to tell basically is that the scalability, the bursting capability, and it needs to be unlimited. In those kind of time, the experience of customer experience has to be seamless, and obviously the cloud play there the major role. The second point from experience is from the operations. Today, if you are taking the the multi-cloud approach where you are unleashing the power of each of the platform or each of the model, it doesn't matter, it can be one provider, different models. At that time, if you don't have the visibility and control of your own state, and you cannot manage the capacity planning, because cost control comes from the pattern, and the pattern of usage comes from the visibility. That inference, if you're not getting building then FinOps module, building the DevSecOps, containerization, then modernization and cost control comes into the picture. So very important part is the the multi-cloud management platform that helps today to give you insights, to help you to plan, to help you to take the right delivery model, to help you to take the right contractual model, so that, and then the pattern is built on that, so that continuous basis that pattern is maintained, so that your cost is in control and it doesn't overshoot. So experience is obviously the the agility that cloud brings, the scalability that cloud brings. The problem that was earlier, there was a bill shock coming in. Today, that's where service provider like us are, we are agnostic to any cloud platform. Being a cloud service provider by us, we are more towards how helping our customers achieving their goals at the right cost, and achieving their goals with the right capacity planning, achieving their goals while they have already investment. So investment, capacity, and cost control. These are the three ways of looking. And obviously this platform gives the experience. The cloud is for experience.
Yeah, of course, cloud is for experience. I'll move to the next fireside chat question. Before that, we have a question from Mr. Srinivas Reddy. Do we have multi-cloud platforms and the frameworks available, and the integration tools, the success ratio? Maybe Anitosh or Jitendra, you can just throw some light.
See, the multi-cloud platform we have, multi-cloud framework is always a co-creation. It is a, for every customer, it is not about knowing the landscape and creating a framework. It is also about the outcome that you want to achieve, right? Do you want to take 70% of your workloads on SaaS model, and that kind of cloud you're building, and like 20% on infrastructure as a service, or 10%, and create a framework around it? Heavily on production. The industry that you come from, outcome you're trying to achieve with this cloud adoption. And the security framework will be first built up, and then is that multi-cloud framework can be built, understanding the outcome. Multi-cloud platform is there. And what was the last one? What was the last part of the question?
Yeah, so multi-cloud platforms and integration tools.
So integration tools is pretty much this multi-cloud platform is an integrated tool. Jitu, you want to touch on? You can please go ahead.
So as we talked about the multi-cloud management platform, what we build in-house, it has a framework which we have built it, which we use infrastructure as a code, common framework, adaptability for all the hyperscale clouds as well, the private clouds, right? The tools and other mechanism, we are not here to replace the consoles of hyperscale. We are here to automate customer business. As I talked about, there might be 100, 200 touch point for you to deploy one application where we can able to do a easy of deployment. If you have to go to AWS, you have to follow the cloud formation, right? If you go to Azure, you have to go for ARN template. So like that, every cloud have their own automation script what to deploy, where SIFI has built a unified infrastructure as code, which is commonly adaptable for all the hyperscale and easy of the deployment by means of the blueprint to automate your end-to-end business application and maintain the continuous change configurations. So the success rates are not specifically benchmark on the multi-cloud management platform. The success rates are specific to that particular business application. For that customer, how dynamically it been deployed and how frequent you do provisioning and deprovisioning of those resources matters a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Anitosh and Jitendra. Yeah, I mean, the integration part is something which becomes a really complex exercise in multi-cloud journey, and of course, the user experience that we talked about. But what about this? But what about security? I would first like to understand from Shamik, given the sensitivity of data in the BFSI sector, how can organization ensure unified security and compliance in a multi-cloud environment? And what are some of the effective measures that can be implemented to safeguard customer information? Shamik, your thoughts, please.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
sir.
hello.
Yeah, yeah, Samik, you're audible. Please go ahead.
So let Samik join. Probably I will answer the response, right? So the security became a bigger challenge when we go to a multi-cloud standpoint, right? Suppose in an organization there are network resource, there are storage resource, or there are infra provisioning resource people. If they are adapting to one cloud is fine, they will integrate with the AD and then they can able to configure the multi-factor authentication, all those things, they can able to secure it. When it go to a multiple cloud, this became a common challenge for customer to maintain a global policy in terms of, because the AD policies, the adaptability of these clouds is not there, right? So we had a similar challenge being a cloud managed service provider. What we have built, we said we will not create any user in the hyperscale cloud. It will be only a service account in the hyperscale cloud. All the user profiles will be created in the SIFI multi-cloud management platform. There, I know this resource is which domain and whether he is a L1 or L2 or L3. And then we can able to apply a role policy for that user so that he cannot able to go do beyond any operation. Even that guy quit the organization or he do a internal transfer, by default depends on the policy, he will only have the respective privilege. This is a well thought through process to deploy in terms of the role-based access, in terms of the security and maintain the common user profile standpoint, right? Another bigger challenge is that if I need a log analysis, right? Should have to go each and every cloud to subscribe a various logger tool for me to do assessment. If I get the log, every log policy will give a different standard. How I can able to make it unified? That's where we have a partner with the various player which is a commonly adaptable policy log assessment across the hyperscale. One single tool can able to fetch the logs from the each and every hyperscale. It will not bring all the logs. It will able to selectively bring the logs to avoid the egress cost from the cloud. And the policy, what the action has to be performed, whom to be alerted, irrespective of the any cloud, that particular tool can able to deploy the same thing. Same thing if you want to do encryption, right? If you wanted to VM encryption, you have to go with a different encryption key for AWS, different encryption key for GCP. How do it become a common, and there's a different encryption mechanism for your private cloud. So the one common KMS system what we build, irrespective of the any cloud, your global key will be reside with you. It can able to control all the clouds. There's a bigger topic in terms of the security. I can able to talk layer from L3 to L7, how we secure in each and every layer with a common tool cut across all the cloud. We can have a exclusive session for you to take you ground the level to understand and give you a unified dashboard in terms of the security posture of the various cloud.
Thank you very much, Jitendra. But the security posture, of course, it's extremely critical. But what about navigating complex relationship with multiple cloud service providers, which is again one of the foremost concern for many IT heads and CIOs. Antosh, would you like to share some insights on how CIOs and IT heads can manage these relationships to ensure optimal outcomes for their organizations?
See, that is where the importance of a service partner comes into the picture. It is always that every organization will have a direct relationship, but the most important part of the hyperscaler or any kind of cloud partnership is about the capability and the level of partnership that you enjoy. And today we are the most unique partner in India, because we not only host cloud providers also, irrespective of the enterprise customers. We are a managed service provider with the respective certification levels. Like we are a premier partner for Google. We are a very unique partner for Azure. We are the only DCO, data center optimization partner, who is an LSP and CSP in Azure. And we are the largest, one of the largest partner in AWS, because AWS came to India through CFI. A lot of right. So and Oracle, you know, look at Oracle Cloud, the largest Oracle footprint, by CFI. And I say all of this skill sets, because skill sets is a very important as leads towards that, because the more skill sets you have, more pointed projects or managed services projects you get in. Partners like us will give us the funding, which will help your innovation journey to go faster, and at the same time commercially better. And with the multi-cloud management tool, it gives the visibility irrespective of which cloud provider you're using. And then you can have the right reports for the cloud, and the cost control of the bill shocks doesn't happen with you. So that's the play we play, and help our partners or the CIOs or the enterprise heads for any relationship that they carry with the cloud provider.
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you very much. And of course, you talked about visibility, and we have seen how critical is the visibility to because it's extremely critical for applications and for application improvement, and to address issues proactively, which consumes a lot of IT time. We have one question before I move to the last question of the fireside chat from Mr. Ashish Sharma. He just wanted to understand how much is the influence of the business application company like ERP, banking, CRM, or EdTech service provider to suggest and deploy private and public cloud. Would you like to take that up?
There are many. There are instances where a lot of NBFC who's going on FlexCube services from Oracle as on our CI platform. There are instances, a lot of cooperative banks and small and medium banks whose CBS system is and ERP is getting hosted on our cloud, and they are taking it as consumption as a service. So definitely there are obviously looking at what guidelines. They're looking at the SEBI or RBI guidelines, NABARD guidelines, because cooperative bank comes under NABARD. small and medium banks who has banking portfolios and an investment management will come under RBI and SEBI. So it is a framework and resiliency framework across the governance. But to answer in short, there are a lot of references in NBFC, in your small and medium bank. Even large banks has taken a huge journey of the digitals, on the cloud. Most of the top fours, they have taken their digital journey directly on public cloud. They have made the digital platform born as a
Because you're breaking, you can switch your video.
pretty much that journeys is going away. That fear of data residency in the level of data at rest and data at motion. The cloud generation for any BFSI is not a problem.
Anitos, you have to, yeah, I hope you have to repeat. You have been breaking.
Yeah.
You got dropped out. Okay.
Yeah, I think there must be some network issue, Jitendra. It's absolutely fine. We have in the while there are still more questions coming in. Jitendra would like to understand. We talked about all these strategies part, visibility part, the security part, of course, compliance as a big challenge, and how SIFI is probably enabling through this multi-cloud journey. Uh, Another critical aspect is now the AI-built applications. A lot of enterprises are building applications, of course, addressing AI workload, performance requirement, performance improvements in multi-cloud environment is another key challenge for a lot of technology leaders and businesses. Could you highlight some of the effective strategies that can be employed to overcome these hurdles?
Yeah, I hope most of the hyperscale providers have their AML and then data analytical platform. It is more how you wanted to schedule, right? These are very heavy lifting analytical platforms where you have to schedule your when do you want it to run, what kind of the data you wanted to maintain, what is the size of retention of this data you wanted to keep it, and how much report you wanted to generate. And very precisely, it has to be try to adapt more of containerization or microservices kind of a landscape with the Docker and Kubernetes portability analytical platform, so that the level of the logs and level of the analytical can able to reduce, and it can able to give you the best of the report and stands. So your application logs are the data which you wanted to do analytical. Also ensure that interoperability standards are very crucial for you to optimize as well as get the right level of the resource, and configure with more of a scale, auto scale elasticity of these platform, where you can able to do the complete AML driven data analysis platform.
Thank you very much, Jitendra. I think with that, in the interest of time, we still have a lot of questions coming in, so we'll definitely route it to you and Anitosh. But thank you very much to all the participants, and Jitendra and Anitosh and Samik. Thank you very much for joining in and sharing your great perspectives on the best practices around how to unlock the power of multi-cloud management. It was wonderful hosting you. And we look forward to more insights in the upcoming CIO Gurukul webinar. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Looking
Thanks,
forward
everyone.
to it. Thanks.